Hey, what's up everybody? I'm here to give my thoughts on TLC last night. Now, even though I didn't see the pay-per-view, I plan to through my own ways, if you know what I mean. I did read the results, and I've heard some people talk about what happened. Apparently, we have a new WWE champion in Sheamus. And we also have a new Intercontinental champion in Drew McIntyre. Now, this does seem a little weird, seeing as though Tribute to the Troops was filmed a couple weeks ago, and John Cena and John Morrison were both seen with the respective championships going into that special, into that event. Now, my only thought is either tomorrow night and on Friday we're going to see two title changes. We'll see John Cena get back the WWE Championship. We'll see John Morrison get back the Intercontinental Championship. Maybe even tomorrow night, both titles could change. Or what could happen is WWE could have the announcers acknowledge that these matches were taped, and filmed before John Cena and John Morrison lost their titles. That could be the only other explanation, is if they explain that these matches took place before TLC. Thus the reason John Cena and John Morrison have the championships. That could be the only way they could do it. But I think everybody is right in what they're saying. Everybody is saying that tomorrow night we'll probably get a rematch, and John Cena will win back the title, because apparently, from what some people are saying, the way Sheamus won the title is he just pushed Cena off the top turnbuckle and Cena went right through the table. If you're a challenger, you're being pushed. If you're a young guy like Sheamus that's being pushed, and your only opportunity to be a champion, the top guy in the business, is, say, a tables match, then you don't want to win the tables match by just pushing the guy down, saying, okay, I'm going to push you down right through the table, that's it. No. You want to do it by showing impact, and that's not showing impact. That's more like he just got lucky. So I'm pretty sure we'll have a rematch tomorrow night on the 3-hour Slammy Award edition of Raw, and we'll see what happens from there. Like I said, if John Cena doesn't get back the title tomorrow night or whenever, then they're probably going to acknowledge on the NBC special this Saturday that the matches that John Cena and John Morrison are in were taped before, or took place before TLC. That's the only way I could see that happening, or making sense of the situation. And I also look at it like this. We've had champions that have been 24-hour champions, and WWE has done that in the past. I can't think of some of the guys they've had as, 24-hour champions. Some have been major names. Like, I think Jericho was one of them. I think was a 24-hour champion. I think Edge has been in that category, I believe. I'm not really sure. He's been in that category. Heck, ECW back in its original day was sort of like that. I mean, not even 24 hours, about maybe an hour or so. Tommy Dreamer, when he won the original ECW title, about an hour or so later, lost it to Just Incredible. So, we'll see what happens. My guess is the only reason they allowed Sheamus and Drew McIntyre to win the titles is because, and this is just my opinion, is because they want to show up certain competition, like, say, TNA. TNA is all about the youth movement, and they probably, and WWE is not going to come out and say, oh, we don't care what TNA does. TNA is not, on the same level. But WWE does worry, and they probably know what, someone like Dixie Carter, Hulk Hogan, whoever else, is running the show is capable of. They know that, TNA is doing this youth movement, and most of the champions are young guys. The X Division champions are young guy. In Amazing Red, the global champion / Legends champion Eric Young is a young guy. Is a young guy. The tag team champions, the British Invasion, they're young, if you will. They're young guys. Even AJ Styles, who in WWE would be more like a guy that would only go as far as maybe the Intercontinental title, or even the ECW title. AJ Styles is the world champion of TNA. So my guess is this is WWE's way of answering TNA and saying, hey, look, you guys think you can push younger athletes and make younger athletes champions? We can do the same thing, even though we may have them lose the titles back to the people that they beat them for the next night or later on in the week. Hey, we still can make them champions. That's the only reason I think WWE did what they did. As far as the tag team championship match goes, DX beating Chris Jericho and Big Show, I'm not surprised by this. WWE did the typical, good guys, top faces getting beat down at the end of the, flagship program, Monday Night Raw deal. So it's not a surprise that DX won. Now, what does this mean for Jericho? Well, apparently, according to the thing, Jericho has to go back to SmackDown. But here's the deal. I've got a feeling Jericho's got something up his sleeve. Now, Jericho said that he's not leaving Raw whatsoever, right? Something tells me, I could be wrong, something tells me tomorrow night on the Slammy Award, or tonight, I should say, on the Slammy Award edition of Monday Night Raw, Chris Jericho is going to make some kind of announcement saying that he's now a part of Raw. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but something tells me it could be in that kind of category that he's going to acknowledge that he's now part of Raw, and it doesn't matter if he's champion or not. So, as far as the other matches go, Christian and Shelton Benjamin, from what people say, kind of stole the show right at the beginning. So, I'm not really surprised by that. Both are very agile when it comes to the ladders, and Christian retaining, I think it's to kind of show that ECW needs a named player as champion to stay alive and probably avoid being turned into something else. Michelle McCool retaining her title with help from Layla just shows that it just shows me that Mickie James is gonna win the title real soon. It's almost similar, this whole thing with her and Michelle McCool, Mickie and Michelle, it's almost similar to Lita and Trish back in 2005, at the end of 2004, beginning of 2005. That's what it reminds me of a little bit. So Mickie James will win the title eventually. As far as Randy and Kofi go, I'm not surprised Randy won the match. They still want to put Randy in the title picture. So we'll see what happens. He may get a championship match tomorrow night, so we don't really know. But something's going to happen. People are saying that John Cena needs to have that title to show the fact that he is champion, with the Tribute of the Troops coming up and all that. So we don't know what could happen. And that's about, and Batista, in the whole situation with Undertaker Batista, it kind of sounds a little weird, but I guess Teddy Long's like saying, hey, I know it's a chairs match, but, still, chairs is the only thing that's legal. I think that's what he was doing when he restarted the match, saying, hey, chairs are legal, nothing else. So, that's why Undertaker won the match. But overall, I have to see it to really give a review on it, give my thoughts on it. But those are just my thoughts from what I've heard from people on why WWE did what they did with the new champs and all that. So we'll just have to see what happens for the rest of the week. And if WWE doesn't change the titles back to Cena and Morrison and keeps them on McIntyre and Sheamus, like I said, the only way they're going to get through that Tribute to the Troops is to acknowledge the fact that the Tribute to the Troops was taped and filmed before TLC took place. That's the only way they're going to make sense of anything. But those are my thoughts on what I've heard so far. Again, I got to watch the show to give a better, thorough review on it. And that's all. And I'll talk to you later.